Alright, well, I'm going to be out of town for the Open Cup in St. Louis, so kind of recording some random things beforehand so that content still comes out. And I'm going to do something that Gavin's done, but we're not going to touch ovals. Not going to look at that. We're only going to do the road courses. So, I'm going to rank them. We're not going to go tier list. We're just going to go straight up rank. I don't even know what I'm going to say is the best. This is all just going to kind of be instant reaction as I think about it. Should get a lot of people upset, especially with me being an oval racer sort of road. I mean, Formula One's my favorite thing to watch, but yeah, I might have a different take on what is a good road course and what is a bad one. So, easiest thing I'm going to do is just pull them off the board here and drag them onto Photoshop. Nice and simple. So, we're going to start off with the Atlanta Roval, which is, in its current form, absolute trash. I mean, you can drive off a hill into a chain link fence around a parking lot. You can hit a staircase that's going from the parking lot up to the track. It's very bad. It was used, I believe, in the first season of DWC with Formula One cars. But yeah, it is a very bad place. So I don't think it's going to be climbing up. Auto Club, another Roval. The actual Roval itself, not terrible. The infield is flat, obviously, like most of these are going to be. The actual infield track itself that doesn't go up on the NASCAR track is pretty fun. But when it's got multiple layouts, I'm going to just take the best layout I think of it. We're going to go off of that. Way better than Atlanta. So it goes there. Then, Imola. Now, this is a place that I haven't done too many races. It's obviously going to be above these guys. Just there's no way I could ever put that anywhere else, but we're going to say it's there, and yeah, this might get confusing here as I try to rank these, but Imola right now is top. This one's going to make people mad. I hate this place so much. I really dislike it. Interlagos is such just a difficult track for me. It's all corners. They all are blind. It does weird things. You've got runoff that you got to take, which is really dumb. I like tracks that you can stay on the actual track, and that I don't get lost in the corners. I know it's more of a driver track. That's probably why I don't like it, but it is going to be very low on my list. Monza. Monza's got to go to the top here for the moment. It's not going to stay all the way at the top. It's fun, but it's fun for its own reasons. It's very easy. It's a lot of drafting. The chicanes are a bit annoying. I'm not even the oval bits, any part of that, the combined or just the ovals themselves, not a fan of. The no chicanes, not a fan of. Grand Prix track, it's good. It's a lot of fun. It's easy. It's not the greatest for sure. Barber is one of those tracks that I don't like at all. And I think what I'm going to do with it is put it right there because it's a fun track. It's very difficult to race. There's a lot of pointless corners. The little S chicane into a hairpin at the far end is terrible. The first turn's really fun. It's a motorcycle track. I know IndyCar races there, and a lot of places race there now, but it's a motorcycle track, and it's not going to get very high up on my list. It doesn't get used a lot, but it's a difficult track, and it's just weird. It's fun in slower cars. It's extremely crazy in fast cars, but the racing isn't quite what I would want out of a road course track. Brands Hatch. Where are we gonna stick you? I don't like the full Grand Prix course. I will say that. I think Indy is the better. Is more fun. The Grand Prix course has its own things. Some more difficult corners at the end. But I'm gonna say Indy is above any of these. Touring cars, slower car stuff. I think Brands Hatch Indy is better than Monza Grand Prix. Just in my opinion. There's more fun to it, I think. And that turn 1 is just one of those corners that you get it right, it's awesome. You get it slightly wrong, you can sometimes get away with it. I don't even see how we're going to do it in the rain, but Indy is a great course, and it's going to go up there. Mosport. You, in your current form on iRacing, are very good. If we got the repave with all the runoff, it'd be very bad. It's going to go there. It's more entertaining than Monza. It's got some interesting corners. It's got kind of that Brands Hatch, but left-hander. Turn 2, I think it is. But, yeah, if we had the updated version of it, it would drop probably down here just above Barber, because it loses all that character of, oh crap, I'm gonna go. It'd be like if they paved the runoff outside of outside of turn 1 at Brands Hatch. It just ruins it. So luckily we don't have that version. Hopefully we never get it, but I assume eventually we will. Charlotte Roval. Charlotte Roval is... Can you even classify it as a real road course? I think it'll be above Auto Club because it can actually be raced on without the use of a billion cones. But it goes there. If it was the old Roval, I'd probably put it below Auto Club. The new Roval, above it. Yeah, it's a gimmick track. Could have been done a lot better, I think, but yeah, that's where we're at on that. Let me delete some of these off of my desktop before I start getting too many logos here, screwing everything up. All right, so we are at Chicago. Street course. Sort of a fictional, sort of a real. It's about to be a real. I love street courses. I think Chicago's got a lot of good corners. I think I would have to put it just above Barber. And I know that's going to get a lot of road racers mad, I bet. But it is really fun. I love driving it. Now, in real life, it's going to be terrible. They've got, like one of my viewers pointed out, they're racing it the wrong way. If they were racing it the other way, you wouldn't be going head on into walls that can't move. You could put runoff. Instead, right at the end of pit road, you got two pieces of the track heading straight at each other, so you can't put runoff. That's not good. And they're at the end of the longest straightaways. median that you got to get around as you head down to the north side of the track is terrible, very narrow. But that little uphill curve thing that you got to do is a lot of fun. I know it's a lot of 90-degree turns, but I think it's actually pretty fun and provides better racing than Barber. But just my opinion. Barcelona. Well, scrolling way up here. Especially now that we're going back to the classic without the chicane at the end. Barcelona is just a great track. I know it is a motorcycle track, but it is a really fun track to race. And yeah, out of all of these, I would say it's the best. So that's an easy decision. It's going to be one that I made people mad at. Magni. Where are you going? I don't know why Imola is so big. Why are you bigger than him? Oh, Magnicore. Above Interlagos. That's where I feel. What do we got? So let's go. Move these up. And take this down here. Below Barber, it's just a lot of pointless swerving on the infield section. I'm sure older versions of it were great, high speed, very intense. The last corners are terrible. Makes rolling starts nearly impossible. And yeah, this whole infield section is just so... It's obviously an afterthought, you know? It's just a bunch of swerves here. It just really makes it single file out and doesn't really set up any good passing opportunities, which runs it down here. I think if you had an outer track, and maybe they do. Do they have an outer track, or is it just that version? No, it's just that version. This part right here just sucks. If you had an outer version, I think it would be a crazy high speed, you know, old and no chicane type thing. But instead, you get that crappy infield that just ruins the race. Spa, the Daytona of, well, we'll call it the Talladega. We'll call this the Daytona of road courses. Long, no, really, it's overused. I think that's why I don't like it. I think we've got, let's see, it's down to, oh, that's right. Need to move this up to above Chicago. I think that's where Spa fits. It's a good track, but lots of runoff, lots of long straightaways. Just, I don't know, it's a little boring, especially since it gets used so much. Just really, really boring. Where are we at now? Le Mans. I think we can just toss it right there. Maybe we'll go below it. Honestly, probably about the same. Nothing really exciting about it other than the 24-hour race, because it's a 24-hour race. But in reality, it's not that great of a road course. You know, it's a good endurance track, but not a good racing track, if that makes sense. So that's why it sits there. Oh, this one's easy. All the way to the top. We're just gonna put you right up here because even though you're a lot of chicanes, it's a lot of fun. Such a, I don't know, it's a really good track. If you, like, I love street courses for some reason, and this is essentially a smooth street course. It's top of the list so far. Just a great place. Love Montreal. Coda, one of the few that I've actually been to for a Formula One race. I think it goes here. I think we can put it just below Brands Indy because it is a technical track that's harder for me to drive. It's got a lot of runoff. It does have one long straightaway, but it's got a lot of corners. Very difficult to race, but it is a really good track. I can't pick it apart as much as the others. You know, I think it's more difficult than all of these, which makes it better. I'm not as good there, but I think it doesn't have a lot of pointless bits. The stadium section could be cut out probably, but other than that, there's not a lot of complaints with it. That takes us to Zandvoort, the old version. Where do I want to go with this? I think it's just above Brands. If it was the new version, I would take it so far down the list. But wait, no, Zandvoort. I'm getting them right. I get Zandvoort and Zolder confused all the time. Zandvoort, right there. Not top tier because it does get narrow. Doesn't have any really pointless corners in it. Current version, real life version, hate it now. I mean, they ruined some of the best corners. But it's a really good track. We will go third on the list right now. Soon to be fourth on the list because Zolder. Well, I've already got that logo because we just raced there not too long ago. Zolder is top of the list right now out of these. Love the place. I guess it's kind of like a street course as well. It's kind of got that same feel as Montreal. Just open. The first few corners are awesome in really fast cars. It's kind of a right on the edge. You got some hard braking. The one thing I hate about it is that second chicane. If you could cut that out and just straight line that, that would be awesome. But I love the place. Great track. Top of the list. Jerez or Herether. However you're supposed to say it. It looks like a really good track. I haven't driven it. I'm going to say, though, based off of the videos that I've seen, that I think it can go just above Mosport. Just from what I've seen with videos on YouTube of people racing it. Normally I can tell if I'd like a place, and it's going to take me a little bit to learn it, but it's a decent track, it looks like, without a whole lot of stupid stuff. Daytona falls into the same category as Le Mans. It's we're gonna put it above Mans, but it's an endurance track, it's not a race track. and so therefore not that big of a fan of it. People are going to look at this and see this grouping of tracks that I have put here, and they're going to be so annoyed that Chicago is just right in line with these. Maybe we can separate them out a bit. Detroit. Oh, Detroit, you are such a good track. I think it goes right here. I think that's a good place for it. Just not thinking about it too much. It's not Formula One great, but it's still good. And we're gonna go with that. Donington. Donington National. Is that what they call it? Is that what it is? National? Yeah. National's the better version. Grand Prix is just extra annoyance. I think Donington. I think we go there. I think we're just gonna go above Montreal. Feel good about that. Donington is one of my favorite tracks. It's kind of got a lot of on the edge points, not a lot of runoff. When you screw up, you pay for it. So, yeah, let's go in there. Man, we were only to the D's. Fuji. God, I hated this place until I went to race it with the Toyota. I think Fuji probably falls in right here. Say it is just under the Circuit of the Americas. Front stretch is a bit annoying. Rest of the track, fairly good though. Feel good about that. Hockenheim. We're up to the top and boom. Great track. Love it. Very fun. The little stadium section. Keep calling everything stadium sections. I mean the crunch together bits that seem like they overlap on each other gets narrow over by the end of the drag strip, but great track. Top of the list of these. And well, then we got Homestead Roval. This Homestead Roval, if I can get it on, there we go. Homestead Roval. I'm gonna go Homestead Roval. Because if you don't get on the track, if you use the infield, it's a great track. I think I like it better than Barber. I like it better than Chicago. You know what? I like it better than Daytona. I think it's going to go above those. And that will get a lot of people angry, but it's not really a roval. It's a really good road course. If it was just... If you went to a track and it was just this, you would say it's a great track. But because it's a roval, people avoid it. But it's not even a roval, because you're not using any of the turns of the oval. You're using the straightaways. It'd be like doing a road course on a drag strip and saying, oh, it's a... What would that be called? Rag? But, you know what I mean. It's a great track. And it should be used more, but I think people just get so, oh, it's a roval, and so we don't use it. But it's got some really good turns, some fun, fast turns that you got to deal with. And I like it. Hungaroring. We have an easy decision here. Hungaroring, top of the board. Love it. Amazing track, fun to race. A lot of fun bits to it. I think it's a more complete track than Hockenheim. And yeah, top of the list. Indy Roval, and we're going off of the new Indy Roval. Can I just get this to drop all the way to the bottom really quick? Can I pull it down here? Coming down here, thank you. Indy Roval. I think it's suited for just above Atlanta. That new section at pit entry is terrible. The going right onto the straightaway instead of how we used to do a right and then a left and then back onto the right and the infield straightaway, that ruined it. It's just bad. It's just a bad track. Very bad. It deserves to be all the way down there. Iowa Speedway Roval. God. That's, oops. Big Iowa. Nope, that's not what we wanted. Iowa Speedway. I think you've got to go just... I would love to just put it above Indianapolis just to show how much I hate Indianapolis, but Iowa is a worse one. Just because it's a big corner and then some infield. But it's still better than Atlanta. Irwindale. That is not a road course. I think they're counting the figure 8 as that. Kansas. Oh boy, Kansas. If you don't know Kansas Roval, well, you got that. Or you can have the infield. I think we have finally beaten Atlanta. Atlanta, you're not the biggest loser yet. Except for your oval track. New one is the biggest loser. Knock Hill. Just jump back up this way. You know what? I think just based on overall feel of things, Indy is better. But I believe it's better than Kota and Fuji. It's a fun little short track. Fits in right there. I'm good with it being there. Let's, oops. Build and get it in there. So, at about the halfway mark, Hungaroring at the top. And that is our current list. With quite a few to go. So I'm going to split this video up into 2. Because this went longer than I thought. And we're going to go part 2 tomorrow. And see if any of these can knock off Hungaroring. Or if any of the others can knock off Kansas. So, come back tomorrow for part 2. Thanks for watching.